Brown here, and we are going to look at Lily, My One and Only from the Melancholy album. So a pretty simple song, just a couple of parts, verse, chorus, and bridge to look at, and let's get after it. So this one, like most of our songs on this album, are tuned down a half step, so every string down a half step. So this is in the key of G major, concert key of F sharp, but I'll be calling chords out like we're in the key of G. Alright, so the intro and the progression that I just played is also the first half of the verse. Just has two chords, so let's talk about those chords. The first one is a G sus2, so that's 3, muted, open, 2, 3. We're not playing the first string. And then our other chord is just our tried and true A minor chord. So what you have is basically two measures of each chord, and when you change to the A minor, it's anticipated. So we have something like this. And you can change the open strings at the end of the G sus2 measure to give you just a regular old G chord. So that's a little variation that you'll hear him throw in. So again, at tempo. So what we have is this 1, 2, and 3, 4 and thing that's mirroring the drums, and we're going to have muted strums on beats 2 and 4 to imitate the snare. All right, so the measures with A, we'd have something like. So sometimes you'll have, instead of just a quarter note on beat 3, 2 eighth notes there in the measure that precedes changing to the next chord, whether it's you're changing to the G or changing to the A minor. Okay, so I'll go through this whole intro again on guitar here, and since this isn't doubled, you have a little bit of breathing room to do some different things each time you play the progression. So here we go. So that's the general feel of what you're doing there. All right, so what happens then is that is played for the first half of the verse. So we'll look at that in a section. What I'm going to do is talk about what the keyboard parts are doing for the intro. So the one kind of synthesizer-y keyboard part, it's pretty nasally sounding. So maybe, if you're going to emulate this on guitar, use your bridge pickup. So we'd have this. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so just notes from the G major scale there, and that's really it. So the other, like the acoustic piano, what it's doing is it's just playing the same chords that the guitar is playing, just up in octave. So basically in this range. So if you wanted to do this on guitar, you could just play voicing like 12, 12, 10 on your high strings. And like maybe in A minor up at 12, 13, or sorry, 14, 13, 12, or you could do it here at 9, 10, 8. And you could do like little G major scale ideas like those kinds of things. That's basically what the piano is doing. So it's an improvised part, and he's just kind of grooving. Okay, so let's check out the verse. Like I said, the first half is the same as the intro, so we've already covered that. So let's check out the second half of the verse. So I'll play this for you. We have this. What we're doing is the G sus2 to A minor, thing that happens, so that takes up 4 bars. Then what we're doing is this. So that's just a B minor chord, and he's fretting the F sharp note in the bass, so sometimes you're hearing that in the chord. And then an A minor chord. And then we're to the chorus. Now, the last time during the second verse, you're not going to do an A minor, the verse, or the measure right before the chorus. What you're going to do is a D7 that verse. So just strumming in eighth notes, like, you know, in your swing rhythm like that. Okay, so let's go back and look at some of these fills that the one of the guitar parts is doing. It's just an overdub track that happens during the verse. So after he sings "Until I See," here we have this. So kind of like just an arpeggio of a G chord for the most part with a C. Is that little lick. Alright, after he goes to the B minor, where after he sings "Cause I'm Hanging in This Tree," that part sounds like a lynching reference, but we have this fill. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so just G major scale notes again. Alright, and that's going to lead you to your chorus. What I'm going to do for the chorus is play the rhythm guitar part and then talk about the kind of like the synthesizer nasally keyboard part. Okay, so that's it. It's mainly just a chord progression that takes up 2 bars. So it sounds like this. So that's doing 1, 2, and 3, 4, and with your G sus2 to A minor. The next measure is this. So kind of a dust in the wind kind of thing, where we're doing a C chord just on the inner 4 strings, and then doing the major 7, back to C, then a C add 9 up here, so that's 3, 2, open 3 on the inner 4 strings. So that measure sounds like, again slowly. Alright, and then like I said, that repeats, so we have then the G sus2 to A minor measure again. Now this is the ending measure, so we're doing this. So just going back and forth between the C and C major 7. Okay, so the synthesizer type deal, let's check that out. Really this lays out in your second position pattern of the G major scale. So 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so that's all there is to it. With the second time through, the second chorus, the guitar that was doing like the fills during the verse, that's gonna do, I'll play it for you here. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so mainly playing out of your like G major pentatonic notes, but he does throw in a C note in there. So yeah, like I said, just G major simple material. You guys will probably be able to figure out what I did there pretty easily. If not, ask me for the tabs. After the first chorus, what we do is we go back and we're going to do another verse. And I've already talked about the chords. So let's check out some of the fills. The first one sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just sliding between the 7th and 9th frets. Then we have this. Ready, go. Alright, so that's it there. So here's the last one that happens kind of right before we transition to the chorus. 1, 2, ready, go. So it's a little G note there at the end. It sounds like he's playing it really quiet there, so maybe I would probably notate that as a ghost note. Okay, so what we're going to do with the second chorus is we're going to do the 2-bar figure twice. Then we have the bar, and then we're going to have a second ending basically that takes us into the bridge section. So let's look at that. So the second ending goes like this. Okay, so what we're doing is, these are quarter notes that I'm strumming. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, C, C major 7, C, and then C add 9. Then what happens is it's a bar of 2, 4. So you're holding the C add 9 for a dotted quarter. And then the 8th note at the end of the bar is an A minor chord. The next bar is this. So you're doing an A minor to an A sus2. So just opening up that second string, back to A minor, to a C chord. And then the C chord, that's on beat 4 of this measure, and it's held for 3 beats into the next measure, so it's a bar 3-4 there. The high synthesizer type deal over the second ending that we have is this. So 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, all right. So the bridge chord progression is essentially it's this. So we're going to do a B minor to B minor for 2 measures to A minor type thing. So the rhythm is just the 1, 2, and 3, 4 in type deal. And there's not like a transitional open string strum on the end of 4, so you might want to just use this shape and then slide it down for the A minor chord, like. Or you can throw in a transitional strum if you want, if you like the sound of that better. During the bridge, the synthesizer twangy, high, nasally part is doing this. It doesn't come in until the 3rd measure. So 1, 2, ready, go. And then the G, basically with the G, you're starting the 3rd verse. So the 3rd verse kind of takes us into the ending of the song. I'll explain what happens starting with when we switch to the B minor chord there. So let's check that out. Starting with the B minor, we have. So we're doing a B minor for 2 measures, A minor, and then D7 that we're holding out, and then ending with rolled G sus2 and holding that out at the end. All right, so let's check out some of the fills that are being played in this final verse. We have this one. So just kind of sliding 7th, 9th frets between these strings. The next one is this. Just two notes there. The next one is just 2 notes again. We're doing. Now the last fill of this verse is this. Alright, so over the ending where you have the one guitar's doing the D7 to the G sus2, the guitar that was doing the fills is playing like a little chunk of a D7 up here, so that's 5, 7, 5, and then playing a D note at the end. There's a little track overdub that does that at the end of the track, and then it just cuts off abruptly. But he's just sliding down a G major scale on the 3rd string with one finger and doing a pull off to grab the last note. All right, so that does it for all of Lily, my one and only. If you want the tabs for this one, just email me. And please subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more coming from Melancholy and a lot of other great albums from the 90s. All right, I'll see you guys around.